Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to continue on with Polish Craft Beer Month, and this is going to be my first taste of a beer from Browar Artezan. These guys are from the Warsaw area, so we're going to have a taste of their Bałwan Paleo today. You can see the nice hedgehog that's the symbol of Browar Artezan, and these guys are actually a very highly rated brewery. They seem to produce some really nice stuff, and this beer is actually rated well into the 90s on Rate Beer, so I'm sure it's going to be a very good one. And the Paleo actually is a style that I've started to get into more recently. I always liked the IPAs and the double IPAs, but found the Paleos just a little bit kind of boring. But I have to admit, I do find myself enjoying a lot more Paleos these days. And this, of course, was another beer that was recommended to me by Piwomaniak, by Pavel there. Very nice guy, big metalhead just like me, knows his stuff about Polish craft beer, and it's a very nice shop he's got. So if you find yourself in Warsaw, do go and check out his store, and he'll help you find some really nice Polish craft beers. The stuff I've tried so far has been pretty damn awesome, so do make sure you check out his store. The link is in the video description below. But anyway, as always, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you do want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual websites are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my future reviews that hopefully I can do from Browar Artezan. Very first time I'm trying one of their beers, as I said, but hopefully I can get more. And there's all the usual social media, Facebook, Twitter and Untappd, so please follow me on there. And if you do want to see more beer reviews, just subscribe to the channel. Also, go and check out Pavel at Piwomaniak. And I will apologise in advance for any bad Polish pronunciations in this video. Polish, of course, is a very, very difficult language for those of us who are not native speakers, so I do apologise to those of you watching in Poland for that. But please do get in touch and let me know some of the other Polish beers and breweries that you would like me to review on the channel for you. But anyway, to tell you about Browar Artezan. So Browar Artezan was founded by 3 beer enthusiast friends back in 2012, and the original brewery was actually in Natolin in Grodzisk Maziowiecki near Warsaw, but the new brewery is in Błonie, and they moved to this one in March of 2015. But the men behind the brewery are Dariusz Doroszkiewicz, I believe is the right way to say that, Jacek Matierski and Piotr Wojpicz, and these guys were all home brewers and well-known members actually of the Polish Home Brewers Association. But the original brewery was actually one of the smallest industrial breweries in Poland, and it had a capacity of only 5.5 hectolitres, and all of the beers were actually only produced for cask as well, so it was a very, very small operation. And they started on their new brewery after their beers proved to be very popular, and they're actually a very prolific brewery too. They've got a huge list of beers on their website. There must be about 30 or 40 different beers that they're producing there. So as I say, go and check out the brewery website in the description below, and you can see a list of all these beers. They've got so many different styles and so many different varieties of beer within that style too. So if you want to try a lot of different things from the one brewery, I guess Browar Artezan are one that you really do want to check out. But from what Pavel told me, these guys are producing some very nice stuff, and they seem to be very highly rated by Thomas Kropia as well, who's the kind of godfather of Polish craft beer blogging. So go and check out his blog as well, and yeah, he can probably tell you a lot more about Browar Artezan than I can, but I'm very interested to do my first taste of one of their beers. So let's get on to the tasting of this one then. So as I said, this is the Bałwan American Pale Ale. It comes in at 4.5%. It's hopped with Cascade and Equinox. It's actually one of the few beers I've come across that uses Equinox these days. The only other one I can think of that I've reviewed on the channel for you is probably the Punk IPA from Brewdog. They like the Equinox hop. But yeah, it's quite a nice hop from what I remember, and this beer was apparently created to pay homage to the first snowfall, so it should be quite an interesting one. I'll just let you have a little look at the artwork on this one before we open it up. You can see there's the nice hedgehog on this. You can see the nice artwork. I'll just bring it back a bit so the camera focuses, but it's actually got a nice kind of matte label there, and you can see there's the bit of data on the back. You can see the nice hedgehog, the Artezan hedgehog, just up there in the corner. This one is best before the 11th of March 2016. You are going to see this review after that, but I'm drinking this beer well within date. It's the 21st of February when I'm drinking this beer for you, and you can see there is the Browar. You see, trying to make sure you can see this. There's a nice hedgehog on the bottle cap there. I'm not sure how well the light's letting you see that. You can just see it there, but it's the same hedgehog that is on the side here. So yeah, it should be a very nice beer. So without further ado then, let's get this beer open and we'll get on with the tasting here. 40 IBUs and 4.5% alcohol. American Pale Ale. Should be very nice. So, as you can see, Nice smoky opening on this one. A lot of carbonation running up the top of the bottle there. So we'll get this out and into the glass. But I have to admit, I'm very glad that I can finally try some Polish craft beers for you. I've had a few people on the channel like Lucas Olczak. He's been asking me to do some Polish beers for a while, so it's nice that I can finally get around to doing some of these for you. So as you can see, the Bałwan is actually poured a really nice bright yellowy orange colour. Actually, it's a kind of, if I hold it up to the light, it's a very bright orangey golden colour actually, a really nice amberish beer. But you can see there's a half finger of a frothy white head there. That's just going to fade away and be a very thin foamy layer, but a very attractive looking beer. You can see it does have a level of opacity to it. It looks quite opaque, but overall very nice. There's some big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass there, and a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of the head. There's a little bit of sediment just floating about in this beer too, but overall it looks really nice. So let's have a look at the aroma on this one. So without sugaring it up too much actually, there's a good tropical fruit nose from this one. Definitely grapefruit in there. A little bit of passion fruit I want to say as well, but normally you wouldn't get that from the hops that are in here. There's definitely papayas and lychees, you can smell that. That comes from the Equinox hop. The grapefruit of course is the trademark of the Cascade hop. But there's also a nice citrusy character in here, but this has a very nice light fruity nose. It's really nice. There's a bit of floral character in there as well, maybe even a little bit of herbal, kind of herbal note that mixes with the malt base. The malt base is quite simple though, to be honest. It's a bit of bready character and also maybe some biscuity or caramel sweetness there. The focus on this beer aroma is more in the hops, which is exactly what you'd expect from an American pale ale. But it smells really nice. It's nice and tropical fruit. A lot of nice tropical fruit in there. Some juicy grapefruit, like I said. There's a bit of passion fruit in there, although normally you wouldn't get that from the hops. But there's nice papaya and lychees, and that of course is from the Equinox hop. The Equinox hop gives you a really nice smooth aroma, but they've chosen two very nice hops. You can see that head is just fixing itself a little bit there, but it smells very nice. So let's get stuck into this beer. So this is the Bałwan from Browar Artezan in Błonie near Warsaw in Poland. Nostrovia, skål as we would say here in Sweden. Cheers. Oh yeah, now that's nice. It's just a nice mix of the bitterness and the malty character in here. This is a nice beer. I can see why it's rated highly. As I said, this beer has a rating of 95, or I think it was 96, maybe even 97 actually on Rate Beer, so it should be a very nice one, and it has turned out that it is. As I always say, Rate Beer is a very good beer guide. Well, that's a damn good beer. As I told you at the start of the video, I always have liked the American Pale Ale style, or I always liked the American IPA style, and it's only more recently that I started getting into the actual Pale Ales. I always found the Pale Ales to be just a little bit, once you've had an IPA, for me you don't always want to go back the way, you always want to go to the double IPA and kind of bitter it up a little bit. But more recently I've started trying the Pale Ales, and there are actually some very, very good beers in this style, and this is one of them. This is a very good Pale Ale. This is a good beer, you know. If you enjoy Pale Ales, by all means go and check out this one. So as I always say, sugar the beer around your mouth a little bit and just let the whole palate adjust to this one. But this is really nice. There's quite a big kind of spicy and slightly herbal character that just underpins the whole flavour in this beer. Yeah, so the malt base in this beer is quite simple, and that tends to be the case with the Pale Ale. It's a bit lighter in alcohol, so you don't get so much of the caramel and biscuit flavour that you'll get from for example, the likes of the IPAs or the double IPAs. This one is straight up just a bready malt right across the middle of the tongue. There's a little bit of a cereally character in there, perhaps just a little tiny bit of a caramel or slightly biscuity sweetness there. The focus on this beer is more on the hops, which is exactly what you would expect with the paleo. You get more malt presence from the bigger styles, the barley wines, the double IPAs, and the IPA. These beers, of course, are all related because of the hop to malt ratios. But yeah, this is nice. In this beer, there's a bit of grapefruit flavour in there. There's the papayas and the lychees that you would expect from the Equinox. I remember these flavours, of course, from the kind of classic punk IPA. There is a bit of citrusy character in here too, you know, some sort of lemon and lime character, a little bit of apple actually. And again, that comes from the Equinox hop. The Equinox hop can actually give you quite a spicy, almost peppery floral aromaticity in the beers. It's quite nice, and you're definitely picking up the Equinox underpinning the flavours in this beer. These flavours, of course, are all coming out around the sides of your tongue there. It's a nice, quite dry and bitter beer, this, around the edge of the tongue. There's a good IBU character to this one. This is a good beer. No question about that. I do have to admit, it's quite different from the other beers I've tried recently because of because of the prominence, I guess, of the Equinox hop. So if you like kind of quite spicy floral aromatic beers, then this is probably one that you're going to enjoy, and it has that little bit of peppery spice to it as well. So yeah, around the edges of the tongue you've got some smooth grassy floral character at the back of the tongue, and as you move further forward it becomes a little bit more dry and a little bit more bitter, and then just behind the front curve of the tongue you get this little oily bubble, and that's where these fruity characters are coming out. So yeah, in there's a definite grapefruit flavour, but that's quite subdued, I think. There's more focus on the papaya and the lychees in this beer. I'm not getting any of the passion fruit that I actually picked up on in the aroma. There is a little bit of the citrusy character, you know, a little bit of lemon and some limey character, and also a little bit of apple actually, which is quite nice. But overall, the fruit flavours in this one aren't anywhere near as prominent as you would get from the IPA, but there's a lot of nice kind of floral, aromatic, spicy character in this one. So if you enjoy that sort of thing, you definitely will enjoy this beer. And certainly for me as a beer reviewer, I can see why this beer is rated really highly, especially within the style. It's something a little bit different, and it is very nicely done. So yeah, as I said, bready malt base on this one, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of biscuit, mainly a kind of floral and grassy kind of herbal beer, this one actually. There's a good bit of that spicy character from the Equinox hops. The fruits are more, a little bit of grapefruit, a little bit of lychees, papaya, things like that, and there's more of the kind of lighter citrusy notes, but overall it's a very, very nicely done beer. You have to admit, or I have to admit, I can see exactly why this one is so highly rated. So if you enjoy the paleo style, go and check out the Bałwan from Browar Artezan. In terms of the mouthfeel of this beer, I'd say it's quite light-bodied, maybe pushing the mid-bodied category actually, and that's probably to do with how the kind of spicy, peppery hops come out in this one. Carbonation, of course, is very smooth. There's a good hoppy bitterness. There's a little bit of juicy, fruity character. As I said, it's quite spicy and quite it's got quite a bit of dryness to it as well, but the malt base is very smooth also, and there's a little bit of sweetness there. But yeah, like I said, very, very nice beer. So if you want to get into Polish craft beer, this is a very, very good place to start. And this brewery, like I said, are very prolific. So I'm sure on the basis of this beer, you can probably just go to this brewery and pick a style of beer you like, try it, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. Pavel certainly spoke very highly of this beer when I was at Piwomaniak picking them out, so this is a brewery I think that you do want to check out. But yeah, as always, I hope you've enjoyed this beer review. If you enjoy kind of floral aromatic beers, or quite spicy floral aromatic beers I should say, then you will enjoy this one, the Bałwan from Browar Artezan in Błonie near Warsaw in Poland. This is a very, very good beer. I'm very impressed with this one, as I am with most of the beers that I've reviewed for the Polish Beer Month for you so far. So I would recommend that you go and check out Browar Artezan. As always, let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below. I thank you once again for watching my beer reviews, and please do let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like me to have a look at. But in the meantime, go and check out Browar Artezan, and until the next beer review, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Go and check out my social media things too, but as always, do let me know about Polish craft beer, and it's really cool to finally get around to reviewing some of these for you. I hope you're enjoying the Polish Craft Beer Month, and I will see you soon with my next beer review. Sláinte just now, na zdrowie.